Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Insider's Edge podcast here on the WZWA network. I'm your host with the most on the West Coast, California in Fury. It's great to be with you all once again. And speaking about being great, to be with anyone right here, right now, I have honestly the best job in the world right here, right now. I get to talk to the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions. Yes, right here, right now. I get the opportunity to talk to Miss Reality, Madi, and Chicago sweetheart, Missa Kate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the two of M95. How are you going, girls?
Wow.
Good. Talk about an intro.
It's really good when I get to interview people at this time because I live in Perth, Western Australia, other side of the world. Early in the morning for you both. So I come in with all this passion and you've just woken up, you've had a coffee, and you got me barking in your ears right now. So I apologize, but this is how it is. You know, this is how it is. And ladies, first question I always have on the podcast, and we're going to be starting with Madi, and then once Madi's finished answering the question, Missa, you will pop in. First question, as per usual, how did you become a wrestling fan?
I actually started watching with my brother. He was just scrolling through channels, caught a glimpse of China, went back to that channel, and I was basically just my brother's brother since he only had sisters, and that's how I started.
Right. Okay. The brother influence. Missa Kate.
I always say I have two first matches that I've seen. First one was John Cena's debut in Chicago, and it was one of those cases where I was just like flipping through and I was just like, oh, he's an attractive man. So started watching that. Didn't really watch again till later on. Actually at my grandma's, she worked at a church, so I would go out there over the weekends, and they would have a TV in the Sunday school room. Well, anybody who knows, I think it was like, I don't know if it was Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings, but they would have Raw in Espanol. So I was flipping through again, and this time I saw Lita, and she was managing Edge against Matt Hardy for the contract, the ladder match contracts, where the loser would go like get fired. And
Edge, the Matt Hardy thing.
Yes. Can you tell it's still the morning? I'm sorry. My brain's coming. It's coming. But yeah. So between Attractive Man and then Lita, who I was just like, oh, she's a badass. Like, yeah, I was pretty hooked.
You see, that's so interesting you say that because when I watched, you know, I'm 35 years old. Sorry. Wow. I'm 36 years old. I completely forgot my age.
What a lie.
Stone Cold was the badass for me, but the heartthrob was Lita for me. When I first saw her show up, oh my Lord, I was in love. I was like, I can't believe these. I was 12. I was 12 years old. I can't believe these feelings I'm feeling right now. I thought girls had cooties, but I really like her. So that's really cool to hear both of your stories of how you became fans. But again, it starts to build as time wears on. What led to your decision to get into the business? We'll start again with Madi.
So I was actually in college at that time. And just like around the finals times when you got to take all those big tests, that's like the biggest time you're like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. So it was just always an ongoing joke that I was going to quit and become a professional wrestler. About maybe halfway through college, NXT came to Texas, and I saw Enzo and Big Cass. And I wasn't watching at that time, but then just watching them like come through the curtains and like command the whole crowd, I was like, I need that kind of power. So after I graduated, I was supposed to have a job at the Volcano National Park, but unfortunately the volcano erupted, so they were going to put me somewhere else. And I was like, this is the time. This is the time to go screw up my life and become a wrestler. And that's exactly what I did.
Fantastic. And Missa, how about you?
So kind of, it's funny because it's like similar, but it's different. So I did the whole like, go to college. I wanted to originally be a physical therapist, and being a professional wrestler was something I always wanted to do. But I kind of um, was between like family and friends was kind of like they got in my ear like, no, like you're not gonna be able to, just do the right thing, whatever, and go on the right path. And it's kind of like when you have the itch, as everybody says, you can't continue on until you scratch it. So I got my associate's degree, and around that time I had like a lot of life stuff that happened that made me realize like life's too short.
Mm-hmm.
So I made an agreement with myself pretty much. After I get my associates, I'm taking a year off. I'm trying this wrestling thing. I'm gonna work. I'm just gonna see where it goes from there. And I did, and voila. Now we're ruining our lives, as Maddie said.
No, that's wonderful, because I remember when I was a teenager, I told my father that I wanted to be a professional wrestler. And it was like I just told him that my life's goal was to be like a ventriloquist or something. He was very, very upset about the thought that I might try and become a wrestler. Where are you going to wrestle? I don't know. Mexico? What? They're going to pay you in pesos? Like, Dad, take it easy. You're a ceramic tiler, mate. Okay. Okay. So moving forward, this question's for Maddie. My research tells me the internet can be very unforgiving with the podcast, but my research tells me that your first match was against Jazz, of all people. Can you tell me how daunting that was?
Yeah, so that's correct. It was my first independent wrestling match, and it was terrifying. At that time, she was one of my trainers, so it was like a student versus trainer match. And while she was very helpful in preparing for it, she would always remind me after every session, like, I'm only teaching you some of what I know, not all of what I know. And I was like, great. And of course, like any match, you go in there and you have to study your opponent before you get there. That's how you figure out what you're going to do. And I just remember like watching her matches, and before every match, the whole crowd starts chanting, "Jazz is gonna kill you." And I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do if they do that to me, because what am I supposed to do? Agree? Like, yeah, I know. I'm aware. But like no one wants to hear me say that. So literally as soon as we go out there, I do my little entrance, and then her music hits and she's coming out, and then they start singing that, and I'm just like, yeah, this is the first match and maybe the last one.
That's certainly going to help with the nerves, that's for sure. So Missa, now to throw it over to you. I've done my research, but sometimes again the internet can be wrong. It told me that your first match was with the one and only Shotzi. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, not as scary as Jazz. Nothing against Jazz, but she's a bad woman. Shotzi's a little cuter in comparison to Jazz. How was it working that first match with her?
Terrifying. Well, mainly because, and I feel like this is a trend. I don't know if Maddie had the same experience, but I feel like it's a trend among women in wrestling where we kind of get thrown in a little quicker than we feel like we, should be. But I actually hid from my first match. I was supposed to be training 6 months in. So everything happens for a reason. About like 7-8 months in, they're just like, no, you're doing this. I was like, okay. But yeah, so I was terrified, and I reached out to Shotzi and I was like, hey, so this is my first match. And she was actually super cool. And her and I went, and she actually helped me work on stuff and help prepare me. So I was a little bit more aware, because especially at that time, until I started training, I didn't know anything about the indie scene. So I wasn't even really familiar with her. But yeah, she, especially that day, super, super sweetheart. She had a double shot. So she came, wrestled me, and then she had to go somewhere else. But she still made sure, like, before and after the match, like, hey, are you? Because yeah, she was just overall, she was just really cool. So and my favorite color is green, neon green, and her hair was green, like crazy green at the time. So I'm like, this is, meant to happen here.
Very cool. Okay. Here's the thing, okay, ladies. I've done so much research, like deep diving into your careers, very short careers so far. I mean, let's be honest, it's 4 or 5 years into the business, but
we're doing all right.
You two, honestly, the stuff that I've come up with here, I'm so proud of myself, by the way. The stuff that I've come up with here, I'm so interested in hearing about your thoughts on these things that I've come up with. Your 17th match, Missa. 17th match, you become CSW Women's Champion. 17th, and you're already a champion. At that time, how does that make you feel to have like a wrestling company be like, you know what? You're going to take this title right now?
Yeah, it was interesting. Especially at that time because I wasn't expecting it. And especially there at the time, there was not really a women's division. So it was kind of like, all right, what happens now sort of thing. So it was definitely a fun challenge I tried taking on. I definitely tried to push for a lot of things to try to get the women's division going there a little bit. They're pretty successful now, so I'd like to think I have something to do with that. But just saying. No, it was really cool, and I don't take things lightly. It's a blessing and a curse. So it's either 0 or 100. So I kind of hit the gas on that and was like, all right, what can I do with this? And yeah, like you said, it was my 17th match. So I was aware, I was newer and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I don't want to show that. I don't want to act like that. So what can we work with here? How can we make this something?
Right. That's very cool. See, like, I like hearing about this kind of thing because these are all lessons that you're learning very early on. And Maddie, to throw it over to you, your 15th match, is a match on AEW Dark against Layla Hirsch. What the hell? You're doing a match for I would say the second biggest wrestling company in the world, and your 15th match. How do you do it?
I don't know. It's all a blur. Honestly, that weekend really feels like a blur. Just like having to get the travel to go out to Florida in the middle of a global pandemic. Everything was on like 30 because it was just like, what the heck? What am I doing here? And then to top it all off, that it's not even in front of like fans. It's in front of wrestlers. It's in front of the roster because at that time there were no fans. So it was terrifying, and it really feels like a blur in another lifetime, honestly. But it was literally just like, have you ever seen that Mr. Krabs meme where he's just like, and like the whole world is moving around him? That's what it was.
It seems that because look, you've had, from my research again, Maddie, 25 matches in AEW. Mr. Kate, you've had 6 from my research. Again, the research can be wrong, but do you have any fun stories? Wrestling for a company that there's obviously got to be so many people backstage, and you're probably used to before this being in a small independent. What is that experience like? We'll start with Maddie.
I mean, it's a pretty crazy experience because you see people that you watched. So for me personally, walking into the back and like seeing Matt Hardy, I was a big Team Extreme and Lita fan. So to like see him and like meet him, and like now he knows my name, and it like literally gives me like some type of like, oh shoot, this is real. Like every time I see him and he's like, hey Maddie, and I'm like, oh my God, he knows my name. How does he know my name? But it's really crazy to see people like that know who you are because you like watch them and idolize them in some sense. But it's crazy to see, like, obviously we're like not on the same level, but we're like at the same we're there
Yeah.
together, but he's just like up here, but we're there. So it's crazy
We're
to
getting there,
share.
we're climbing.
Yeah, it's crazy to share like a backstage with said person. And then to have the minds like Jerry Lynn, Dustin Rhodes, Eddie Kingston at your disposal, and Thunder for helping me get there and being some type of a mentor in this business, which is a hot mess of a business, but
Excellent. And Missa, how about you?
Pretty much same. She said it like better than I can, but yeah, it's just exactly what she said. It's like you've watched these people, now you're working with these people and you're trying to be professional, but you're like, kind of idolize you, but I don't want to bother you, but I have a bunch of questions. So it's like it's really fun, and it's like a weird experience overall. Because especially when there's like that saying that says like never meet your heroes, and I'm like, I haven't met anybody yet that has proven that saying true. So I'm pretty blessed. But yeah, it's very surreal. Especially I don't know if Maddie's had these experiences, but I'll have like, you're trying to pick the brain or get advice or whatever. And there's some times where you're just sitting there and you're just staring at whoever that you watched. And as they're giving you advice, your brain kind of goes like, holy crap, I'm talking to this person right now. And then you're like, all right, bring it back. But no, it's really fun.
That's really cool to hear. Like when you both talk about that kind of thing, like that's kind of how I feel as a podcaster. Like I'm sitting here talking to Don Morocco or Jeff Jarrett or Rob Van Dam, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm talking to these people that I watched when I was a kid. So I understand that completely, and we're going to get to some NWA talk right here, right now. We're going to start with you, Missa. How did you end up getting involved with the NWA?
Happy accident. So first all my life, right? No, so pretty much there was a pay-per-view. I want to say, I'm going to botch the year. I want to say 2021, end of 2021. Lady Frost, I don't know if she got sick or injured, but she couldn't make the pay-per-view. And at that time, they were kind of like, we need somebody. And my name was thrown in. And they kind of just called me in, and I guess they liked me and they kept me around. So it's not a great story, but
no. Honestly, I love any sort of small minutia of a story. Trust me, to me that is incredibly interesting. Maddie, you tell me, how did you get involved?
I feel like at the time that I was at AEW, Thunder was the NWA Women's Champion, World's Women's Champion, Women's World, whatever. When she was the champion, and so I think that kind of helped put some eyes on me because I was around her often, and I think she kind of like put my name out there. And I got reached out to by Pat Kenny, asked to come to, oddly enough, the same pay-per-view that Missa was at. So that was both our first time, ironically. And then from there, it was just kind of on and rolling.
Right. So the ball is rolling. And again, you go to the NWA, there's going to be people there that have a wealth of knowledge. I need to ask you both, who have you learned from the most? We're going to start with Maddie.
Why would we start with Maddie?
Main character.
Alphabetical order.
I'll try and change it up a bit.
I'm just kidding, sort of, not really. For me, I would honestly say Jazz is one of the agents there, so I think she's probably she works with the women's division the most, and so I feel like with her, she's right there, and I can just continue to learn from her. Being there, though, I have like made a couple of I guess friends that I didn't know before who've been able to like talk through the business side, because like wrestling is great, but like this business aspect of it is wild, and you don't really know what you're getting into until you're into it like knee deep.
Right, of course. It would be. Missa, how about you? Who have you learned from the most?
Me.
She's still there?
Um, I'll answer for her. So, probably Maddie, because she's just the best partner I could ever have. She so selflessly offered up her tag, or no, my bad, her championship opportunity for us to be a tag team, and now we're champions.
As we were, Missa, who have you learned from the most from your time in the NWA?
Again, kind of what Maddie was saying, because Jazz is our agent, so we get the most knowledge from her. I definitely again, it's hard because everyone's running around like chickens with their heads cut off backstage, but if I can, I'll try to see if I can grab like Medusa or somebody. I know Raven was somebody who he'll just pop up out of nowhere and we'll just like randomly have like a conversation or something like that. But yeah, I think it kind of more so depends on who's all there, if they're free, if they're not, busy. So, but yeah, I guess like Jazz and Medusa, I'd probably say.
See, what a wealth of knowledge you've got right there. Medusa and Jazzy, serious, it's insane. But the thing is, Miss, whilst you were gone, Maddie was saying that she's the reason that you know anything about pro wrestling. So just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, I know you two have had this question before. We're going to start with Missa here. How did you feel about the idea of becoming a tag team with men? Even though she's a bit of a troublemaker.
Who, me or Maddie? I think it was definitely refreshing because Maddie and I are kind of at the time, because again, we got there around the same time and we pretty much were just like, oh, we're the new kids on the block. We're trying to figure stuff out. That mixed with her and I kind of like clicked. And then Kylan, when she was there also, so all three of us kind of had our own like little thing going on, but Kylan was like busy with, like Camille and like big championship stuff. But yeah, Maddie and I kind of were just like, all right, well, we'll stick together. So through that, I think other people saw and they're like, oh, you guys look like a tag team. And I think I kept making the weekend specifically. I think it was were we in not St. Louis, maybe St. Louis. I don't know. We're somewhere. And I kept making the joke. I was like, we're going to be a tag team. We're going to make a tag team. And there's one day specifically, her and I literally probably wore the same outfit. Like I came out of the bathroom and she was wearing the same exact outfit as I'm like, bro, if this is not a sign. It was like they're wrestling over everything and it was funny.
Right.
But yeah, so no, it's been, I think, especially because we're both learning at a similar pace with similar things. I think we complement each other well for certain things. So
you can grow together. That's good. That's very nice. Grow together. Very nice. Maddie, how did you feel about the idea of teaming with Missa?
The idea of teaming with her, kind of like the same thing she said. It feels like everyone in the locker room meshes very well. But she was definitely someone that I could kind of connect with a little bit more. I respect someone who can say what's on their mind and tell people like it is. Like we've had very honest conversations with each other. And you can't always find that in women's wrestling. So I respect that and I appreciate that because it's not really something I've had in wrestling before. So to be paired up with someone like that, I think we definitely do compliment her. I mean, not her, each other. I compliment her all. We compliment each other because I think just like whenever I'm on, she can sometimes be like off, or I guess whenever she's off, I'll like turn it on, and whenever I'm off, she'll like turn it on. So we like force each other up to like the same level, and we also like level each other out when the other person's like on 10.
Right. I can totally understand that. And I'm feeling the love here between you two. Between two men, it's called a bromance. I don't know what the female version is though, but I'm feeling that. Cismance doesn't seem like it makes sense, but anyway. I'll continue.
We'll figure it out. We'll make a t-shirt when we figure it out.
I'll continue on my questions here. Your third match as a tag team, you become the NWA Women's World Tag Team Champions. World Tag Team Champions. As of this recording, you've held it for 123 days, although in Australia it is now the 15th. It's probably still the 14th in because I live in the future. How did it make you both feel to be bestowed a spot like this? We start with Missa.
No pressure. It was definitely unexpected. I think especially at the time, we were like tagging, but then there was also like a tournament thing going on. So we weren't tagging, we were fighting each other. So we're like, okay, are we a tag team? Like, what the hell's going on? And then next thing we know, because Maddie had the pleasure of being on the team to help get us the ticket to cash in on Peace thing. I can't see backwards. It's horrible in the mirror. Anyway, but yeah, so when they're just like, hey, you guys are, there we go. Price is right.
Very nice. Yeah.
But yeah, so the day that they kind of told us like, oh, you guys are going to cash this in. And we're like, oh, okay. And I think her and I were both kind of in shock and didn't know how to take it in. So I think now that we've had them for a little bit, we're getting more clarification and a better sense of direction where to go.
Right, awesome. Because like I just Googled it now. These are titles that go back to 1952. That's, that there's history right there, There's
Maddie, 95 in there. Do you notice that? 95's in everything.
Boom. Exactly. Maddie, I want to know how you felt being bestowed this honor with your soul sister right here.
My soul sister. I would say the way I felt was probably like finally. I feel like we were not given the opportunity to put ourselves in that kind of title spot, and the fact that we finally got it and we capitalized off the jump. It was about time. It was about time they started looking at us like real competitors, which we are. Because like we could take half of that locker room like at a time. We could take all of them like half of them at a time. The point of the story. It was about time. So it was it literally felt like finally, okay, take us seriously, give us a chance, and that's what we did with it. So in everyone's face.
Excellent.
I like her answer better.
Excellent. A slightly arrogant answer, but very good.
It's true. It's true. Everyone is like 10 or 15, like half of those girls in the locker room. Like,
yeah. These are women that carry these belts.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? I'm really excited for you both because you've got this spot right now, and you're both obviously very happy to be in this spot. But I have to throw this question in there. It's kind of like a little bit of a spanner in the works. Do you two have aspirations to be singles wrestlers in future, or are you both going to roll with M95 for the long haul? Big one right here. I'm going to go with Missa Kate for the first answer here.
I mean, somebody has asked me this in an interview before, and I said we got two hands, and there's two other belts available. So, I mean, I could see us holding all the belts. I don't see an issue with that.
That's true. That's true. I would concur. I mean, it's called a belt for a reason. You can put it on your waist. You can put them on your arms. My arms are long, so these bad boys can just hang.
Look, you two can get into character all you want. I want a real answer here. Okay, I want a real answer.
You think we're playing a character?
When you first started getting into the wrestling business, did you want to be singles wrestlers? Did you want to have the glory for yourself? Or now that you've got M95, you're the women's world tag team champions, are you thinking, you know what, let's roll with this? Or deep down, do both of you want to maybe one day do the singles thing? Come on, Maddie, tell me, Maddie.
I mean, I think when you start wrestling, personally, there wasn't a lot of women's tag teams out there. There still isn't. So I don't think that was anything that I thought about before. Mm-hmm. But being in a tag team, it's nice to know that someone should have your back. And like you go into these matches knowing that someone's going to have your back, or at least you hope. So I do like that. I mean, I think everyone at some point wants to be a star. But I think it's all a part of a journey, and being a part of this tag team, at least you have someone going through it with you. So I think, I don't know how Missa feels, but I think this is a good, I don't want to say stepping stone in a derogatory way, but it's a good stepping stone for both of us to help each other and get to a level to where it makes sense that we'll hold the title on our own, where we can stand on our 2 feet.
There you go. That is the answer I'm looking for right there. Fantastic, Maddie. Missa, pressure's on.
Follow that.
I know. I was going to say, I'm not topping that. Are you kidding me? No, literally. She's like, thank you. Thank you. See, this is why. No, but literally exactly what she said. Like, I truly believe we do complement each other well. And as she was saying earlier, we're kind of right now in this part in our career where, you know, it's sometimes one might need to be lifted up, the other one might be lifted up other times. So I think through that, it's a learning experience, and everything happens for a reason. And her saying, you know, you saying stepping stone, I don't take that as any kind of way. It's true, because this is helping us get to our goals and our true potential. Absolutely. Boom. I didn't do that bad.
No, fantastic.
I didn't top it, but it wasn't that
bad. No, absolutely. It makes sense. You know, this is a period of time, but there's going to be a time where it's going to have to evolve to a different, echelon, I suppose you could say. And I found something that Maddie said very interesting there, and I wanted to bring this up, and it happened to be my next question. The state of women's tag team wrestling today, from your perspective, ladies, okay? Let's be honest, the NWA really care about women's tag team wrestling. I think Impact Wrestling also care about women's tag team wrestling, although the belts are defended on the pre-show a little bit too much for the pay-per-view, just from my perspective. NXT, yeah, okay, not bad. WWE, ladies, I want to know your thoughts on the state of women's tag team wrestling today, 2023. Maddie, we're starting with you.
I honestly think it is on the come up. I think because it was never precedent before. Like, we've had people like the Iconics who were pretty much like, that is the bar for tag team women's wrestling. I think they were very cohesive, and they looked like the perfect little tag team. Like, that I would put on the same scale as like any men's tag team. Now we're kind of at the disadvantage where we are random girls that were singles wrestlers being put together. So I think it's cool though. And I appreciate the cohesion and the different personalities you see in these tag teams, because I feel like it's a different take on tag teams. Whereas you would have like the tag teams back in the day who were wearing like the same exact gear and like look the same, move the same. So I think it's cool to see a mix in style like M95, but also to see like Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, like their dynamic is so different, but it's so good together. I mean, Kylan's all right, but her and her tag team look like they're having fun, but she's not with us anymore, so.
And Missa, how about you? How do you feel about the state of women's tag team wrestling today?
I feel like it's so limited to the point where it's almost not really existing. So it's hard. kind of like what Maddie's saying. Like, I feel like every now and then it's kind of like, oh, here's some tag. Oh, there they go. Oh, here's some. Oh, there they go. Because either like they go and they have singles runs, or this person gets signed here, or whatever the case may be. So there's never really, I feel like there's never been a with the exception of the Hex, honestly, is probably the only tag team that I could think of off the top of my head that has been together as long as they have had. But yeah, I think it's definitely a part of wrestling right now that's kind of missing, but we're M95 is bringing it back. We're gonna bring, some attention to it. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I keep saying exactly what she was saying, but it's true. There's girls all the time just get thrown together.
Yeah.
So it's hard, especially when you're thrown together, to try to get chemistry. If you guys already don't really know each other, but even if you do kind of know each other, it's still, trying to find that chemistry of like, all right, we got to kind of be on the same page here. So I definitely would be interested, since there is a tag team at Impact side. I think it would be very interesting to see M95 against Kylan, or the Coven. I think that's their tag name, correct?
That's right.
Yep. The Coven. I'm bad with names; they don't stick. But I do think that would be interesting, like a little, but yeah, I feel like it's slow. It's a slow process, but I feel like there's women are starting to pay more attention of like, all right, let's get together, let's make a tag, let's make something out of this, as opposed to a singles run.
Yeah, no, good point. And look, this is actually something that in the last 6 months I've become very passionately, I've become very passionate about is women's tag team wrestling, because I get really pissed off at the lack of effort from some companies, right? And here's the thing, right? So I see the effort from the NWA. I see the effort from Impact Wrestling. With Impact Wrestling, you have the Death Dolls, you have the Coven. That's two teams. They had the inspiration there for a little bit. They had the influence. They're gone now. Half of them are in WWE, half of them are not wrestling right now. It seems very cyclical there, where teams will be here and then they're gone. NWA, I think, despite the fact that some teams have left, because I guess some people got signed to another company or whatever the case may be. But I feel like they're always moving forward with it. And the thing is, when you put a tag team together that are two singles wrestlers, at least keep them together for a while, as opposed to like Alexa Bliss, I believe, is a 3-time women's tag team champion in WWE with 3 different partners, I believe. And Asuka, I believe, has had several different tag partners and has been a multiple-time tag team champion as well. That kind of thing annoys me. It's just me, and I don't mean to make this interview end up being about me and my opinions, but sometimes I do that. I'm leading somewhere. I promise you, I'm leading somewhere. So another thing that kind of annoys me, NXT, right? They do so well with building these teams up for a year and a half. Let's talk about Toxic Attraction. Let's talk about Carter and Chance. I know that they're probably still together, but I'm just so disappointed that Toxic Attraction, GG and JC, right? All this time gelling together, 2-time champions, long reigning champions, and they've broken up before even getting to the main roster. When you have a tag division waiting for a team that was put together before getting to the main roster, that stuff drives me crazy. Anyway, again, I'm getting to a point. If you plan on taking M95 all the way, does it dishearten you at all to know that the tippy top company that you might want to work for, WWE, don't emphasize their women's tag team division nearly enough, to the point where that tag team division don't even have the tag titles on the line at a pay-per-view called Night of Champions? Mr. Kate, I'm throwing it all on you right here now.
No pressure. No, I mean, honestly, I have enough faith in Maddie and I. we might be able to change the game a little bit here. No, I think if we got to that point and continued on as M95, her and I both are set in our ways a little bit, but strong personalities in the sense of if we believe in something, we're going to push for it. So if it got to that point, we're going to be on that pay-per-view. We're going to be fighting somebody. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying 100%. But again, I think I don't know. We don't, you got to think on top of that, we don't know stuff that's going on backstage. We don't know.
Yes.
Maybe there's issue. Maybe there, because again, we're just outside looking in. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. I don't know. I do. No, I seriously do have faith that the way that the path that Maddie and I are kind of on right now, it's so I don't know her feedback, but there's people that are like taking notice a little bit, and I'm just like, okay, all right. So we're doing something right here. We're doing something right here.
You want to be game changers, right? You want to be game changers.
I mean, we kind of already are, so now we're just doing it together.
Very good. Maddie, how do you feel about my rant there? Does it dishearten you at all to think that possibly that ultimate destination might not give the platform necessary for a wonderful tag team like M95?
I wouldn't say disheartening. Again, growing up, we didn't really put an emphasis just wasn't put on tag team wrestling for women. But I think it could change. I think having actual tag teams like M95, the Coven, the Hex, that's starting to like build up. I mean, it's possible in the future. So I wouldn't say disheartening, but maybe it's just a goal to work forward. Maybe these tag teams that are coming out need to start focusing on the tag teams. Like, of course, everyone wants to do single stuff, but if we start pushing tags, then maybe there's going to be some type of shift. So maybe not disheartening, but the opposite of that.
Excellent. See, I just wanted to test you both with that question to see, what I was going to get out of that, because I'm sure you're not disheartened. I'm sure you're very confident that you're going to be able to change the game, girls. Okay, next question. Not many left to go here, ladies. Who's the team that you two would like to work with? A team that's going on today, any company? I'm going to start with you, Maddie. Is it a team that you've got on your list?
The Hardys. I'm just kidding.
You might be able to beat them.
Well, personally, just with the history of these titles, I honestly would like to wrestle the Hex. They held these titles before the children held them, and I think they held them well. They took them around the world. So to get in the ring with someone who I feel like actually helped establish and kind of give some notoriety to these titles prior to the group of children that had them before us. The two sets of children that had them before us, I feel like would be good. Really good.
Absolutely. Fantastic answer. Missa Kate, how about you?
Agreed. I think I've had singles I know I've had a singles with AK and Marty, but I've yet to have a tag against them. And I feel like M95 against them would definitely be interesting. I mean, if you're saying any company like besides them, because again, yes, I'm not going to repeat everything that she said, but yes, she nailed it. But besides, I guess the Hex, because the Hex I feel like is obviously they're more attainable, and that would be more likely to happen. Like I mentioned before, the Coven would be another one. I feel like dream match wise, the way that Sonya and Chelsea are going right now, I feel like that would be a very interesting tag match between personalities and technicalities and stuff like that. So I think it would be very interesting.
Very cool. I have to say, I think Chelsea Green is tremendous at what she does. Okay. I wanted to pitch this to you two ladies because I pitched a match to Camille when I interviewed her I'm always trying to get people out of retirement, and I pitched a match with her and Medusa, and Camille had mentioned whilst I was interviewing her that Medusa, yeah, she's a little feisty. I think maybe I could get in the ring with her, and that ended up getting a reaction from Medusa on Twitter, which was very funny. So I'm pitching to you two right now. You want to make a name for yourself, girls? M95, you want to make a name for yourself? Then you walk right up to commentary. You get in Velvet Sky's face. You say, Angelina is still out there working. You're the beautiful people. We're M95, bitch. All right? You get off your butt. You get out of the way of Tim Storm and Joe Galley. You get in the ring. M95 and the beautiful people, NWA 75. I'm pitching that to you right now. You want to make a name for yourselves, girls? You beat them. You beat them. What do you think?
I'm down. Yeah, for sure. Okay. I watched them when they were in the knockouts at Impact, when like the knockouts division was like the women's division. Yeah. So you definitely I'm down. But just because you said Medusa, I was just thinking, I was like, another fun pairing would be Jazz and Medusa against M95. Just saying.
Knees in that match. Just go for the knees in that one. Everyone's getting chop blocked.
Now we're getting spicy, ladies. I like it. Okay, so beautiful people or Jazz and Medusa. Okay, maybe we can get that going. I'm going to clip all that. I'm going to put it on Twitter in a short clip. And I'm going to tag them in it and see if they respond. So good luck with that.
Jazz is going to hit you with their cane the next time she sees. She's like, "Oh, you want to go for the knee?"
Jazz would love me because we both have the same haircut. So
I'm dead.
Okay, random question here. You two, you want to work on tag team moves with a crash dummy? Who's your go-to person? Is there anyone that you go to like, hey, we want to practice this. We want to practice this like array of moves or a tag team maneuver on. Do you have anyone? Do you go up to Rolando Freeman and go, hey, Rolando, come on, get in the ring, mate. Anyone at all? Missa?
I don't know.
No?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm like, oh, really? M95 so good. We don't need like a crash dummy. So like we just go out there and do it.
You just go out there and call it in the ring. Very cool. Okay, let's bring it to today. Hardcore Team War at Crockett Cup Night 1 stole the show, ladies. Stole the show. Let's be honest. Maddie, I have to ask you this though. This was like my favorite part of the match. Did Kylie drop kick you square in the face?
It felt like it was more like right here, which I'm glad for, because if she would have broken my nose, it would have been more than a hardcore Team War match. It just would have been a hardcore match. If it broke my nose, it would have been over for that child.
Honestly, that was like the best part of the match. Like I was watching, sitting at my computer right here, and when that happened, I went, like I thought she just destroyed your soul with that kick. It was fantastic. I just need to ask about that because it was so snug. You both obviously you walked away okay. You walked away unscathed.
And we won. We won. But what they didn't show you is behind the scenes, because I was watching. Everybody had to hold me back. It was a whole thing. You had to be there.
It was crazy.
Honestly, that match was so good. Honestly, like every time that the Pretty Empowered pulled one of you to the outside and they just like a pack of dogs, I think Velvet Sky said, a pack of wolves or something. Mm-hmm. I was just like, yes, like it was really good. So props to you both for being a part of the best match on night 1, and props to Camille and Natalia for having the best match on night 2. The ladies killed it at the Crockett Cup. Let's move forward. Not many more to go here, like 3 more questions. Mr. Kate, from my calculations, in your career, you have had 165 matches for 74 wins, 90 losses, and 1 draw. You have a 44.8 win percentage. Maddie, from my calculation, you have 116 matches for 46 wins, 66 losses, and 4 draws, a 39.7% win percentage. Just letting you know, Missa is in the lead, Maddie. Does that upset you? Does it upset you?
Like I said, we compliment each other.
I'm just trying to cause dissension for no reason. Okay.
Hey, man, I'm not at 50%. I ain't much better. No one's reaching 50 right now, so none of us can talk.
It's okay. You're only early in the career. It's okay. Okay, ladies. Last question before my final segment, where I find out about your favorite things. I'm going to start with you, Missa. What do you like most about Maddie?
Oh, I don't like compliments.
Yeah, she's like, I don't like compliments. I like that she's a bitch like me.
That.
No, but like how she was saying earlier, like it's very refreshing to be able to talk to somebody where it's like, oh, we're able to have an adult conversation without feeling like and all that crap. So it's like, yeah, so that's something where it's very nice to have like adult conversations and disagreements become solved. So
yeah, that's very nice. Maddie, now be nice. Be nice.
Always nice.
I know you are. Your favorite, thing about your tag team partner, Mr. K?
Again, same thing that I said earlier. That she's just very, to a fault, says what's on her mind, and so it makes life interesting. But it's nice to have someone that is going to say what they mean instead of what you normally see with females, where it's like, "Oh my God, girl, we're best friends," and then you're like, "Oh my God, this." She fucking sucks. But have someone that will actually be like, yo, what? It's nice. You're getting, or at least I think, you're getting the full authentic person and not someone who's behind your back saying something else.
Oh, trust me, I wish there was a filter included to make my life a little bit easier.
Yeah. I wish you had a filter.
That's very nice to hear, I like hearing that, ladies. So this isn't a question before we get to the final segment, but I want to give you both a chance to plug anything and everything that you have to tell everyone out there about. So we'll start with you, Maddie. Anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, follow me on social media, Maddie_Renkowski. That's WRENKOWSKI. You can spell it. You can find it. I have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. I have all my merch sites and my link tree on all of my biographies. So do all that. Cameo, break up with your boyfriend on Cameo via me. Do you want me to say happy birthday? That's fine too, but just like book one.
Very nice. Mr. Kate, how about you?
Same. I have a link tree, not a LinkedIn, as I usually say. But yeah, social media, Mysticate11 on Twitter, Instagram. I have a big cartel store. Buy my pictures. My dog needs to eat. I need to eat donuts also, so pay for stuff for me. I have other stuff too, and I always forget. Just look in the link tree. Have fun. I have like a donut candle in there. It's a good time. Just go look.
And everyone out there, when you see this interview,
it does. It smells just like a glazed donut. It's very nice.
All of those links will be in the description.
Like a Krispy Kreme. Yeah.
All those links in the description. Everyone.
Oh no, it's like sorry, he keeps trying to end this. I'm like, no, we're
talking about
the candle. I'm trying to sell some merch. No, just kidding. But no, it does. I think it's tan. It does. It smells like a candle. It doesn't look like one. It's in a candle form, but I think it's still like a cream looking. It smells good. You should get your one.
Trash. I want it to look like one. Anyways, continue with your show, sir.
No, very good. And all of those links that the ladies have mentioned, we'll put in the description on our YouTube. So please follow them because they're tremendous. Okay, ladies. We're getting to our final segment. It's quick fire questions for quick fire answers. I don't want any umming and ahhing. I want quick fire answers. Okay, snappy. There's 12 of them. Okay, we're going to start with Maddie every time, and then Missa will be second. First question, favorite wrestler of all time?
Enzo More.
Excellent.
Lita.
Good choice. Okay, next one. Favorite opponent over your young career?
Jazz.
Yeah, right? Bruh, have you not? My brain, I'm not good at decisions. Maddie.
Okay, if you could pick one match from your career that's your favorite match so far, someone asked you, show me what you do, what would it be?
Show me what you do. I would say my match with AEW Dark with Leva Bates when I cheated to get my first win there. That's what I do.
Missa?
I would show a recent match I just had with ODB over this past weekend, actually. It was a street fight.
Right, I just read about that earlier on when I was doing my research. I was like, oh, ODB's still going. Good on her. Okay.
I brought her back.
Good, I'm glad, because she's tremendous. Get away from wrestling now, ladies. Favorite book?
Harry Potter.
Nice.
Wait. The Prisoner of Azkaban, I think.
Very good. Missa?
Burned by Ellen Hopkins.
Excellent. That's the quick fire I'm looking for. Favorite TV show?
Jane the Virgin.
Missa?
I Love Lucy.
Really? I think everyone that was on that cast was dead before you were born.
You're right.
Favorite film?
Favorite film, like a movie, Tarzan.
Excellent.
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh my God, this is not good. There's too many.
Film's very difficult for a lot of people.
Well, we'll go Scooby-Doo because that's the first one that came into my head.
Okay, not a problem. Favorite
Which one? The first or the second?
They're
Live
both
action.
good. Come on, man. Come on.
Favorite musical artist or band?
Bruno Mars.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Missa?
I like too many things and people for different reasons. This is not easy.
Just gotta say the first one.
Well, Justin Bieber popped in my head, I guess. Yeah.
Cute.
Missa, I feel like if back in the day, if you went to a video store to pick out a DVD,
a Blockbuster, yeah, it was not easy.
You'd take forever to pick something, wouldn't you?
You'd be correct, and that's
I was the same.
Yep.
Yeah, I was the same. Okay, getting away from the arts now. Maddie, favorite food?
Favorite food, like actual food or like style of food? Because I was like Thai food, but I don't know.
Either or, a favorite like dish or a favorite cuisine.
Okay, so cuisine, Thai food, dish, brisket.
Wonderful. Missa, how about you?
I don't know if I'm using the cuisine. Chinese food. But I like donuts.
Nothing wrong with donuts. Okay, favorite place to eat on the road?
My hotel room.
Same for you,
Fair
Missa?
point. Agreed, yes.
Okay, very nice. 3 to go here. 3 to go. Favorite alcoholic beverage, and if you don't drink, just your favorite beverage in general.
Margarita.
Cider. It is not your turn.
You were so excited to answer it, you jumped in. So what was that, Maddie? What was yours?
Ciders.
Cider, really?
Yeah.
Very nice. I think it's the first time I've heard cider. I've heard margarita on the show before. Not very often, though. Usually it's most of the people I interview are like...
It was either that or wine,
wrestlers.
but I was like, I love margaritas. Frozen margaritas, they're the shit.
Ooh, very nice. Okay, second last one. Could be considered the naughtiest one, but you could get a very meaningful answer from it. Favorite male body part or attribute? You see a good-looking guy, what will your eyes look at first?
Abs.
Arms.
Oh, that's a good one. All of the above.
You know,
What, did you think we were going to be like,
Right?
the eyes?
Yeah.
I actually interviewed Baby Doll on the show here about a year and a half ago. Her answer was hands. She liked a man's hands. I thought it was very nice.
But what if they're all like crusty and gross and shit?
Well, I think she
Maybe
likes
that's what she
nice
likes.
hands, not
I guess, but
not
I'm
old
like,
hands.
I don't know. It's hard because I'm like, you have, I don't know. We'll continue. I'm opinionated about that.
The last one here, I don't think either of you had said one curse word on this show. Maybe you have, and I didn't notice. Favorite
did.
curse word?
Fuck.
Very good, Missa. How about you?
Fuck.
It's the number one answer. If this was Family Feud, that would be the number one answer on my podcast after 164 episodes. Ladies, I have had so much fun having a chat with you both, testing you both, and you both passed with flying colors. I am very proud to have had the opportunity to talk to the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champions right here, right now, Madi, Missa, Kate, M95. Thank you so much, ladies.
Welcome.
Ooh, I never passed a test in my life. Yeah.
Excellent, ladies. Well, thank you again. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us. This was fun.
You're very welcome, ladies.
Bye.
And thank you all of you for joining us here on the Insider's Edge podcast here. I'm California. This is Missa K, and that was Madi. She's gone, and we will see you down the road. Thank you.
Network, that's the way we play. Good God Almighty. Dope Network, that's the way we play. Get puppies. Dope Network, that's the way we play. Get.
The following announcement has been paid for by the WZWA Network.